It is Thursday, May 16th. Grab your cup of coffee and let me tell you three stories that you need to know about as you are starting your day. Up first, this one technically happened yesterday, but it really did have a lot of people talking, especially online. So, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are going to debate. They're going to have one debate in June and one in September. And that's not really a surprise. We pretty much knew that was going to happen. But here's where it got interesting. President Joe Biden essentially called for this debate by calling Donald Trump out through a video that he posted on X early yesterday morning, like literally just a couple hours after I posted yesterday's video. In that message, he pretty much said that, like, hey, since you debated me, you lost two debates to me in 2020. And since then, he said that Donald Trump hadn't had another debate. So Trump himself then responded on Truth Social saying, like, listen, I'll debate you anytime, any place, anywhere. They came to the conclusion that they are going to debate once in June, once in September, much earlier than people expected. Donald Trump had said that he wanted to have earlier debates to account more for early voting. And so this is a lot of what's taking place here. They're also going against the tradition of these debates that have been put together by a nonpartisan organization that really put on all of these debates in the past. Now they're actually leaving them up to the networks. One of the debates is going to be hosted by ABC. The other is going to be hosted by CNN. Really interesting. One of the also another caveat to it is that President Biden said that he doesn't want any third party candidates involved in the debate, meaning Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which me personally, I would love to see all three of them on a debate stage together. I love this kind of stuff though, so I get it. I'm a political nerd. Anyways, going to our consumer news today. So, billionaire Frank McCourt is the latest person to throw his hat into the ring as a potential buyer investor for TikTok. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, that's because he used to be the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball team. So again, like he's just one of the latest to like really throw his hat in the ring here. Several other people have mentioned that they would also be interested in buying TikTok if their parent company ByteDance is forced to sell. Most notably is former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. So here's the thing though, ByteDance has remained strong in the fact that they say they are not selling, they're not interested in selling, and last week actually filed suit saying that they would not be selling and saying that the US government was just infringing on their rights. This week, several TikTokers themselves also filed suit against the federal government, saying that the government was then infringing on their First Amendment rights. So we'll just really have to wait and see how all of this plays out in court because until then, nothing really can happen. I mean, it can, but is it really? Nah. Also, in sports news, yesterday, of course, the NFL finally dropped their schedule. They had a lot of like pomp and circumstance around the whole thing. Like they had live shows talking about it, and they dropped different games and scheduling throughout the day. Like we learned about their international game schedules like earlier in the day and like some of the big matchups. But one of the big things is that they finally officially announced their partnership with Netflix. So Netflix will be airing for the next 3 years Christmas Day games. So for this year, they will air at least two Christmas Day games, and then for the next 2 years, they will air at least one Christmas Day game. Now, Netflix has not done a live sporting event of this magnitude yet, so this will be like their first big foray into it. I mean, they're supposed to be doing WWE's Raw later on. They're doing the Jake Paul fight, but this will be like their really big crowning glory if they can pull this Christmas Day game off this season. But another interesting thing is it's just showing that professional sports are moving away from that traditional media of being on your local channels over the airwaves and are now moving to more streaming opportunities because I guess they have the potential of making more money. Doesn't really help the consumers all that much, but I mean, I guess capitalism, no. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my coffee today. Go ahead and finish up yours. I'll see you back here tomorrow. As always, the links to these stories are listed below. And again, thanks for joining the coffee chat.